Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says Man United's signings are long term, not a quick fix. We are focusing on the outgoings in this January transfer window. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer recently admitted that one or two more players could depart the club this month. Now, we recently saw Timothy Fosu-Mensah leave. He joined Bayer Leverkusen. Solskjaer has already confirmed that Sergio Romero and Marcus Rojo are free to leave in this January window. He said their contracts won't be extended. Romero's been at the club for over 5 years now. Obviously, he's our third choice goalkeeper. Got him on a free transfer from Sampdoria back in 2015. And Marcus Rojo, he's never really established himself as a first team regular since he came in. We got Rojo back in 2014 from Sporting Lisbon. And he's sustained quite a few injuries at Man United. He's out with a calf problem at the moment. Last season he was out on loan with Estudiantes. Will Phil Jones depart the club this month? If he doesn't leave this month, I think he will leave in the summer transfer window. This is Phil Jones' 10th season at Manchester United, so he has been a long servant. He's been very inconsistent. He has been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Now, Jesse Lingard, he could be staying at Man United for this present time, because apparently Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants him to stay at the club this month, and he is in disagreement over his future. Now, it does mention that Nice have culled their interest in him. Sky Sports said not so long ago that Jesse Lingard's representatives were in negotiations with Nice regarding a loan move. Sheffield United have been in for Lingard. I don't think he wants to go to Sheffield United. The other week it said West Ham were in negotiations with his agent. It said towards the end of last year that Real Sociedad were talking with Lingard's agent. Villa have been in for him and Celtic and Rangers have been in for him. Jesse Lingard lost his place in the team a while ago now, but he has been part of the club for several years. I think he's into the final 6 months of his contract. I'm expecting Odion Ighalo to leave. His loan expires at the end of this month. Odion Ighalo seldom plays now, but to his credit, he was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. The main explanation we recommended Odion Ighalo in January last year was to obviously get a cover up for Rashford, because obviously at the time Marcus Rashford was out with that back injury. There has been rumours of Daniel James going out on loan because he's obviously lost his place in the team. Daniel James has been at the club since June 2019. We got him in a deal worth £18 million. There's obviously been a lot of rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan. Brandon Williams seldom plays now. He is our third choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. Williams did play a lot of games last season. The main explanation is because Luke Shaw had a couple of periods out with injury. Was it before the start of the season? Brandon Williams signed a 4-year contract on Man United, and we also given that number 33 shirt. Predominantly a left back, but we've also put him at right back a couple of times. Now, quite a few weeks ago, Shields Gazette said that Newcastle had agreed a deal in principle to get Brandon Williams on loan. I think it was a 6-month loan, and Southampton also wanted him on loan. And I think players will also leave Man United in the summer transfer window. Paul Pogba could leave in the summer. He has had a long-running transfer saga. Now, the most recent team to be in for Paul Pogba is PSG. It does mention that PSG have been talking with Paul Pogba's agent, Mino Raiola, and he said a few weeks ago that Mauricio Pochettino identified Paul Pogba as his number one target. You know, he's been relentlessly linked with a return to Juventus. Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist, he said that Paul Pogba will leave in the summer, providing that an agreement is reached. And he says obviously Juventus are preparing to make a move for him. I think Juventus hope that we'd be open to a player plus cash deal. Juventus have already offered us Aaron Ramsey as part of a swap deal for Pogba. We rejected it. They've also offered us Douglas Costa as part of a swap deal for Pogba. We've also rejected it. But yeah, Paul probably did endure 4 good years with Juventus. He's been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. To Paul Pogba's credit, he has done very, very well since he come back from that ankle injury. He had that ankle injury earlier on in the season. He was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury. But we have revealed our asking price for Pogba anyway. We do want around £75 million. But if he does leave, it will be the summer transfer window. It certainly won't be this January transfer window. Earlier on in the season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract with Man United until June 2022. Don't forget, during the last international break, Paul Pogba said that, you know, this is the most difficult period in his career. He says playing for France is a breath of fresh air. And in general, he was talking about his Man United struggles this season, but reflect on them comments, he did receive a lot of criticism, and the France manager Didier Deschamps was talking a lot about him. Don't forget, Mino Raiola told 2 Sport last month that his client's career at Man United is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. I think this is his 5th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. That was the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield. We had him when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances. Solskjaer did say though earlier on this season that Pogba can be convinced to stay at the club if the club win trophies. Pogba did play against Liverpool recently. You know, he was playing in more of an advanced role, and I thought he did quite well. He did give an interview before the Liverpool game, and he did make an admission saying that we're not on Liverpool's level as yet, but he says we can still win the Premier League, and he was talking about, you know, the things he's hated at Manchester United. Matic, he could be also sold in the summer because obviously Matic, he isn't one of our first choice midfielders. I've criticised Matic a lot before, you know, because he's enjoyed a lot of bad games, but he's also enjoyed some good games as well. He's always been a slow player as Matic. Was it before the start of this season? He signed a 3-year contract with Man United. Matic has been at the club now for over 3 years. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Juan Mata, could he be sold in the summer? Juan Mata doesn't really play a lot now though, does he? But he has played some games this season. In some of the games he's played in, he has impressed me. I think he's had a good career at Man United. He's been at Man United now over 6 years. He's made over 200 appearances in all competitions. He scored 50 goals in all competitions. Earlier on this season, he rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. By the way, Solskjaer has said that our fine form justifies the club's support. Because obviously Woodward did promise, didn't he, that he will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He did say towards the end of last year that he will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. This January transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as Manchester United manager. But Solskjaer has made good signings at Man United. He has spent over £200 million at the club. Now, in the summer of 2019, he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January of last year, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odion Ighalo in on loan. In the summer transfer window last year, he brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Facundo Pellistri and Amad Diallo Traore. We got 4 of those players on deadline day in the summer transfer window last year. And it's good that, Solskjaer's brought more young players in. And he's give young players their opportunities since he got appointed in as Man United manager. So I do like the way he has promoted the youth. The news already on Amad Diallo Traore. Solskjaer has said that he could be part of the first team squad in the next few weeks' time. He said that in his press conference building up to the game against Fulham. It was official, Amad Diallo Traore to Man United earlier on this month, but we actually agreed the deal last October. I think we've got him in a deal with like £37 million with add-ons included, and we've paid like £19 million up front. I think we're looking to make around 4 signings this year to complete our squad overhaul, because I think Solskjaer said we do need to make more signings if we are to be genuine title contenders. But yeah, like you said, January signings are unlikely. There has been a lot of players on our agenda. You do know the news on Jadon Sancho. Apparently, Jadon Sancho wants to leave Borussia Dortmund. Raphael Hoggenstein, who's a German football expert, he said that Jadon Sancho could join Man United this month, but it is unlikely. He said negotiations could resume in spring. And we believe we can get Sancho for less than £100 million this year. France Football via Sports Witness recently said that Borussia Dortmund are looking for replacements for him, and apparently they've identified their replacement. Now, not so long ago, Sancho made an admission saying that he has enjoyed a difficult season with Dortmund, but he's happy to be back among the goals. The Borussia Dortmund CEO, not so long ago, explained why Sancho struggled this season, because he was expected to join Man United last summer. He was our number one priority target last summer, but Borussia Dortmund's valuation was £108 million, and we was not willing to meet that valuation. But it did say a few times last summer that the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, contract had been agreed. Dortmund made it clear to us last summer that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. But Fabrizio Romano, he's spoken a lot about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga. So too has Bill's Christian Falk. Don't forget earlier on this season, Dortmund sacked Lucien Favre. But analysing the vast majority of Sancho's career at Dortmund, he has been very consistent. This is his 4th season with them. He's under contract with Dortmund till 2023. Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. Don't forget we was willing to offer him that number 7 shirt. The news on Sergio Ramos. It recently said that Man United are preparing to offer him a 2-year contract. It says we are considering getting him on a free transfer, and Dimitar Berbatov urged us to sign Sergio Ramos. Ian McGarry was recently speaking to the Transfer Window podcast on YouTube. And he said that Man United have made an approach for Sergio Ramos, and Sergio Ramos' brother has informed Real Madrid about our transfer approach. Sergio Ramos is a centre-half. Earlier on in his career was a right-back. He's been at Real Madrid for 16 years now. He's made over 600 appearances in all competitions, and I think he scored around 100 goals. Real Madrid got him in 2005 from Sevilla. I think they paid around €27 million. But he is now 34, is Sergio Ramos. The news on Declan Rice. It's still saying that Man United are linked with Erling Haaland. A journalist has said it's unlikely that he will leave this year. Obviously, in 2022, his £68 million release clause does become active. It does mention that Chelsea are looking to make an early move for Erling Haaland. That's stemming from The Athletic. But there you go. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer deserves a lot of credit with the progress he has made in the last year or so. Our performances have improved. Certain players have improved. We are unbeaten away from home in the Premier League for a year. We are unbeaten in our last, 12 Premier League games. We haven't lost in the Premier League since that 1-0 defeat to Arsenal back in November last year. We are now sitting second. Leicester have gone top. But, if we do beat Fulham tonight, we will be back top. Solskjaer has said our position is down to hard work. And I credit Man United for sticking with Solskjaer because, like I've said time and time again before, he could have easily have been sacked. Because obviously we've endured bad periods under him. He was lucky not to be sacked after us getting knocked out of the Champions League. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked after our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked at the first part of last season. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has received a lot of criticism as Manchester United manager especially earlier on in the season, reflecting how inconsistent we was. There was a lot of our fans demanding him out, and I was one of them. But with how good we have been in recent months, my perception has slowly started to change on him. Earlier on this season, he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Obviously, lost that to Manchester City 2-0, but Manchester City are a good team, especially in the EFL Cup, because they have won it for the last 3 seasons, and City have now reached their 4th consecutive League Cup final. Solskjaer did well last season in his first full season. He guided us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League, and also got us 3rd. We have seen a lot of players leave the club since he got recommended in. I think his decision-making, Solskjaer's, is good in some games. But I think there's other games as well where he's tactically naive, and that's my concern. His decision-making's got to be good persistently. I think we have got to start beating the big teams if we are to be genuine title contenders, because we can't beat the big teams under Solskjaer, and that has been proven so far this season, because we've obviously not beaten Tottenham, we've not beaten Chelsea, we've not beaten City, we've not beaten Leicester, we didn't beat Arsenal, and we didn't beat Liverpool, but we did beat some big teams last season. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 2nd full season as Man United manager. And I did say, didn't I, this season was always going to be a big season for him. Like I said, we were looking to build from what he did last season. And Solskjaer has been Man United manager for over 2 years now. I think he's on course to earn himself a new contract, reflecting how good he has done in the last year or so. Solskjaer, I think, more than halfway through now his 3-year deal. He's under contract on Man United until 2022. Solskjaer's going to be given at least another full season at the football club. There is 3 trophies we can pursue this season. We can win the Premier League, we can win the FA Cup, and we can win the Europa League. I think we can win at least 1 trophy this season, but it's very imperative that we get our first trophy on the board under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. We haven't won a trophy for just over 4 years now. If we win the Premier League, Solskjaer's long-term manager for Man United, I can assure that. And Man United can win the Premier League this season. Leicester can win it, Tottenham can win it, Liverpool can win it, City can win it. So there's quite a few teams in it. Even Everton can win it, believe it or not. But if we don't win the Premier League this season, we'll win another Premier League title at some point. If we do win it, it will be our first title since 2013, and it will be our 21st title overall. But no one expected us to be in the position that we're in, midway through January 2021. And no one expected us to be joint top of the Premier League, earlier on this month and towards the end of last year. So it just shows you some good results do change the complexion of things. But I think, Solskjaer's gained some managerial experience, reflecting how long he's been at the club now. I think he's also learned quite a bit on the job. There's probably still things he's got to learn on the job as well. Maybe you've got to say he needs to identify his best 11. Maybe he needs to select the right formation. He has tried quite a few different formations since he came in. You've probably got to say he's got to start playing Donny van de Beek more. He's obviously made a lot of rotation. So yeah. But when we was inconsistent, and if we'd have sacked Solskjaer, that wouldn't have solved anything anyway. Because not all the blame stems from the managers, when you are inconsistent. Obviously, there's certain players that have also got to take responsibility. And, we're not even really known as a sacking football club, despite the fact that we've sacked 3 managers since Ferguson left. We sacked Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. Not only that, we've spent over £1 billion on players since Sir Alex Ferguson left, and we've brought around, 37 players in since Ferguson retired. And I think we have made mistakes since Ferguson left, and that's why we've obviously been inconsistent. But I've got to honestly say, Solskjaer's bringing the old Man United back. Because we have actually come from behind in a lot of games this season to win. We did that a lot under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We do play Fulham tonight at Craven Cottage. If we don't lose tonight, we are unbeaten in 13 Premier League games. Credit Fulham though, they've actually improved since they got that 1-1 draw with Liverpool back in early December. I think they've only lost 1 of their last 7, but despite that, I think they are still sitting 18th. Probably Fulham are going to go back down. They are relegation fodder. The last time we played Fulham was almost 2 years ago. We're beating them 3-0 at Craven Cottage back in February 2019. And Fulham's manager is Scott Parker. He's been Fulham manager now for like 20 months. Like I said, they have got some good players in their team of Fulham. They've obviously got Cavallero, quite good. They've got Kamara. Lookman, he's definitely one of their key players. I think they brought him in last year. They've got Mario Lemina. He's injured. I think they got him from Southampton. They've also got Ruben Loftus-Cheek. They got him on loan from Chelsea. Ruben Loftus-Cheek couldn't play against Chelsea because obviously it's his parent club. They've got Congolo. He's out injured. They've got Kearney. He's out with injury. They've got Robinson. He's suspended for tonight's game because he got sent off against Chelsea. It actually said, was it Bobby Reid was suspended, but I don't think he's suspended now. Fulham have also got that Joe Bryan, I think it is. They've got Anderson. I think they also brought him in last year. Solskjaer actually praised Fulham in his press conference. And he said, Fulham are well structured. He said they made good signings, obviously, last summer and that. And he said they've got a good head coach in Scott Parker. Don't forget, Solskjaer defended Bruno Fernandes in the press conference. And he denies that Bruno Fernandes needs to be rested. He said his form's been very, very good. He is our best player. And he's the best signing we have made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. I think Fernandes has been at the club now almost a year. He got voted Player of the Month for December, but he's won that now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. In most of Bruno Fernandes' games, he has been inconsistent. There's only been the odd couple of games here and there where he has been inconsistent. But certainly has made the difference in the team. But I've already given my starting 11 prediction for this game. I think Solskjaer's going to make changes from the 0-0 draw with Liverpool. Like I said, I think he could rest some key players. Don't forget we've got Fernandes, Shaw and Harry Maguire that are 1 yellow card away from a ban. And I think, Donny van der Beek needs to be given an opportunity tonight. But yeah, we drew our last game against Liverpool 0-0 at Anfield. Like I said, I think we'd have probably been more happy with the point than Liverpool would have been. But there again, it was a missed opportunity because we could have been 6 points clear of Liverpool and that would have put us in more of a commanding position. Solskjaer gave his perception on the game and he said he was disappointed. He admitted that we lacked composure. It was a good defensive performance though for Man United. Like I said, Luke Shaw did well, Harry Maguire did well, Lindelof did well, and Wan-Bissaka did well. De Gea didn't really have much to do in goal, but he produced a fantastic save to deny Thiago. You know, we had 2 big chances in the game from Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. But you know, Liverpool, for the first time since 2005, have failed to score in 3 straight league games, and they're winless now in their last 4 Premier League games. But Liverpool are still unbeaten at Anfield in the Premier League since April 2017. Don't forget Jurgen Klopp criticised Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics. Obviously, Klopp didn't like the way he set his team up. It was only a few weeks ago he was moaning about the amount of penalties we get. He said we get a penalty every 3 games. So yeah, so I'll be doing another video soon. Your reaction to the Fulham game, maybe tonight, or it will be tomorrow morning at the latest. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.